Hi, welcome back to the recap room. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a horror film titled Don't Breathe. Be warned, this video contains spoilers. The movie begins in a suburban area where an old man is dragging the body of a young woman. In another scene, Alex, Rocky, and Money break into a posh house and begin to steal valuables. The security at this house is top-notch, but this does not hinder their plan to rob the place since Alex's father owns a security firm. Alex steals keys from his father and then goes to rob the houses his father has installed security for. After their robbery is complete, Alex throws a rock through one of the glass doors to make it seem like they sneaked in through the door instead of using the key to get into the house to avoid getting caught. Later that night, Money goes to sell some of the stolen items, but is unable to get much money for them since most people know that it is stolen and they have only managed to steal small things. The next morning, the three friends meet and Money tells them that they are not making enough cash considering the risk they go through. He then tells them that he has a plan. He pulls out his tablet and shows Alex and Rocky a picture of an old house. He tells them that an old disabled man named Norman lives in the house and he has $300,000 that he received as a settlement after a wealthy woman killed his daughter. He convinces them that stealing from him is going to be child's play. He tells them that if they manage to steal the money, they will be set for life. Alex, however, has his reservations and tells his two friends that he is tired of stealing all the time. He tells them that he will not be going with them to rob the house. He then leaves for his home. That night, Alex receives a message from Rocky, who tells him that she has a younger sister whom she has to take care of, and that for her to get her sister out of their toxic situation, she needs money. She begs Alex to take part in the robbery for her. Alex agrees, and the three friends once again prepare to rob the house. They survey the old man and find out that he's blind. However, he has a huge deadly dog who takes care of the house. They realize that the security for this house is high as well, but decide to come up with a plan. They add sedatives to meat and give it to the dog, successfully putting him to sleep. Alex has the key to the old man's house as well. They disable the alarms and then try to unlock the door, only to find that the door has multiple kinds of locks and they do not have all the keys. Rocky comes up with an idea and tells them that she will break through the window and unlock the main door for them. Once everyone is inside, Money heads for the old man's room, intending to sedate him as well. However, as soon as he enters the room, the old man sits up but only turns off the TV before going back to sleep. Money then leaves the sleeping gas in his room and leaves. All three friends gather in the living room and find a metal door that is locked. Money tells them that the cash must be hidden behind these doors and tries to pry the lock open. The lock does not budge, which is why Money pulls out a gun. This causes Alex to freak out and he tells Money that there was no need to bring a weapon, because now, if they are caught, it will seem like they came there to harm the old man. He angrily leaves. Money shoots the lock on the door, successfully breaking it open. Just then, the old man comes into the living room and he calls out, asking who is there. At first, Money and Rocky don't speak. But when the old man continues asking who's there, Money tells him that he entered his house by mistake and that he's leaving now. The old man starts to move towards Money, who then throws out his gun and tells the old man to not move or he will shoot. But Norman does not stop. Money shoots near Norman, but this does not deter him and he rushes forward, grabbing Money's throat and starting to strangle him. He asks Money who else is with him, but he denies having any companions. Norman releases Money and shoots him in the head. Rocky, who is watching from the side, watches in shock but does not make a sound because she realizes that Norman is much stronger than he looks and his senses are extra sharp. Outside, Alex hears the gunshot and stops. He receives a text from Rocky who tells him that Money has been shot. She tells Alex that she is hiding in the closet. Just then, Norman walks into the closet where Rocky is hiding and enters the code to a hidden safe to check if the money is still there or not. Rocky sees the code, and when Alex enters the house again, the two start to steal the money. Before they can leave the room, Norman comes in again and starts to drag Money's body. However, he hears Alex's footsteps and stops what he's doing and points the gun at Alex. Rocky and Alex remain quiet and stop breathing, scared that if they make a sound, they will be killed. The old man assumes that it was probably a fault in his hearing and lowers the gun. He then continues to drag the body away. Meanwhile, Rocky and Alex leave using the basement door. They reach the basement and they come across a woman tied up in the basement. She's bound and tied from the roof of the basement and her mouth is taped shut. The two are scared to even approach her, but once they do, she hands them a newspaper clipping. The clipping has an article about the accident that took away Norman's daughter's life, and the woman tied up is Cindy, the one responsible for the accident. Hearing noise below him, Norman figures that there are more people in his house than he thought and follows their voices to the basement. There, he blindly starts shooting, but instead of getting Alex and Rocky, he ends up shooting Cindy. When he realizes that he has shot Cindy, he begins to cry and mourns her death. While the old man gets busy with this, Rocky and Alex once again try to escape unnoticed. However, Norman is enraged and he begins to chase the two friends. He goes toward the breaker and he turns it off, causing all the electricity in their house to go off. Norman, who knows every corner of his house and is used to the dark, easily navigates his way through the house in search of Alex and Rocky. Rocky begins to panic as she's separated from Alex. The two of them silently make their way through the house, but Norman catches up to them and starts to shoot. Maneuvering through a storage room, Rocky almost touches Norman when Alex calls Rocky's name. Norman hears him and starts to shoot in the opposite direction. He leaves to find Alex, leaving a scared Rocky behind. Alex, who is hiding behind a large shelf, is caught off guard when Norman suddenly grabs his throat and starts to strangle him. Alex manages to push the shelf on top of the old man, freeing himself from his hold and running away. He finds Rocky, and the two of them run towards the door. They get out of the basement and lock the door, but to their horror, they see Norman's dog, who has slept off the sedatives and is standing in the hallway. The two of them run upstairs to save their lives. Rocky starts to climb out of the window to escape when all of a sudden, the dog shows up and attacks Alex. He then throws Alex out of the glass window and he falls on top of another glass window unconscious. Meanwhile, the old man searches for the teenagers when he suddenly starts to shoot, causing the window that Alex fell on to break. Alex falls on top of Norman, who then grabs Alex and stabs him with a pair of scissors. Rocky manages to climb a vent and starts to crawl away when she notices that the dog is behind her. She quickly starts to crawl away when Norman grabs her leg from the vent opening and drags her down. He beats her ruthlessly and Rocky loses consciousness. When she wakes up, she's bound in the basement just like the previous woman, and Norman is sitting in the chair next to her. Norman tells her that he had a daughter who was killed, and now he was about to have another daughter with Cindy, but he had to kill her because of Rocky and Alex. He tells her that she will pay for having to lose his daughter once again. He opens a cabinet and grabs a container that contains the semen that he plans to put inside Rocky. The scene changes to show that Alex is alive and that he had pulled Money's body on top of him to make it seem like Norman has stabbed him. Alex rushes to the basement and hits Norman behind his head. The two bind him and run up to open the front door. Just then, Norman comes upstairs and starts to shoot again. This time, he ends up killing Alex. Rocky, however, manages to open the door and runs outside. Norman makes his dog chase Rocky, but she manages to lock the dog in the car. Just then, Norman comes up from behind and hits her, causing her to lose consciousness once again. Norman then drags Rocky's body back to his house. And that was it for the recap, guys. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our uploads. Thank you for watching.